Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And if you didn't read the title of this, I pulled out my ultimate oldie but goodie favorite and made yet another card and yet another video using it. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome to the chaos. I have an obsession with large floral stamps, dies, anything. I just do. It all started with one specific stamp set many years ago that kicked off this obsession. I have done dozens of videos, dozens, using the set. I have a playlist. It'll be linked in the end screen at the end of the video with the dozens of videos I have done using this. And I always kind of think that I've just used it up. Don't have any more ideas. More keep happening. So I was inspired again, pulled it out, mixed it with a few other oldie but goodies. And yeah, as always, everything I used will be listed and linked in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. That is what helps pay the bills, keeps the lights on, keeps my heaters running, enables me to keep bringing out content. And that's it for the chatter. Let's get into making this card. So first I'm starting with the Parisian frame, or distressed Parisian frame. It's got two names. I don't know why. Anyway, this little mini stamp set. Now this stamp, like the frame itself, is very detailed. You can't even tell looking on the screen. It's a clear photopolymer stamp, but it is. It's very, very detailed. There's a lot of really fine line work to it. And a stamp like this, you need an ink that is on what I classified on the drier side. So I pulled out some Archival ink, which I hardly ever use Archival ink. It just isn't something I reach for, but I have a few and they are perfect. Archival inks are really good for images like this that are very, very, very detailed. Because if I was to use a lot of our other stamping inks, Positively Saturated, Fresh Dye inks, Concord inks, etc., I would have a really hard time getting the detail because those inks are meant, to fill in images and smooth out and all of that. And I don't want that. I want the detail of this because it's quite pretty. So I inked it up with Faded Jeans Archival ink and stamped it onto some distressed watercolor paper. And again, the detail, because it's not a solid image. It's very tiny, tiny lines and live. I think that little mini set came out last year, something. I've had it sitting here for a while and pulled it out to use with my oldie but goodie perennial favorite, the Beautiful Flowers stamp set that I just love. So I inked up the individual flowers from the set with that same Faded Jeans Archival ink and also stamped them onto some distress watercolor paper. These I inked up a couple times just because they stamped great the first time, but can't hurt to do it a second time. And the other thing to remember, if you've never worked with archival inks, these are permanent inks. They stain everything. And photopolymer stamps, they stain them. Full stop. Your stamp is stained the minute you ink it up with an archival ink. That's fine. I don't care. I'm just giving you a heads up. And honestly, stained stamps, they just work better. They do. We all just need to get over ourselves. Because trust me, over the years, so many people getting so upset with their stamp staining. And I was like, I know it gets annoying, but you know what? They do work better. And the other thing, though, to clean archival inks, I use the Ultra Clean spray cleaner. That does remove the ink, but it doesn't remove the staining. You can see that stamp. It's now blue. It's stained blue. It is what it is. There's no ink left on it, but just inking it up that one time with this archival ink is now stained, and it's fine. So stained stamps are okay. And the more you use them, because like this set, this Beautiful Flower set, it stamps like a dream. You know, the more I used it, the more videos I was doing with it, the more I was using it, it stamps so well. Because I've talked about that, brand new stamps usually have a bit of a coating on them just from the manufacturing process. So you want to just either rub it with your hands or clean it really well, ink it up a few times, stamp it on scrap paper, that sort of a thing. Because the more you use them, the better they work. So, for my actual watercoloring, I'm using just distress inks, specifically faded jeans and a little bit of chipped sapphire, and my little Tim Holtz water brush, and I just smushed those inks onto my little plastic palette that is also very stained. It's getting more stained because the amount of like black gouache and whatnot that I use on that thing. Again, it's well loved. So super sped up this watercoloring. I've shown it dozens of times with this set. Also, literally just slapping the color on, keeping it pretty simple. Images like this might be overwhelming to some because they're so detailed, but that's actually the beauty of it because all that detail is there in the stamped image. So you can just slap color on and it looks great. It looks great. Just go with it. So, faded jeans and chipped sapphire, chef's kiss, two gorgeous colors. I need to use blues more often. I've talked about that. I really love blue. I just don't reach for blue shades very often, but then when I do, I love it. I love it. So for the flower centers, I did Fossilized Amber and a little bit of Vintage Photo. And then for that frame, I used Altenew's Pastel Sunrise fresh dye ink and just lightly painted that onto like the open areas of the frame here and some of the little open floral bits. And then I used a bit of the faded jeans on a couple of the other florals. Just this literally just slapped the color on just to give it that little extra something. Because, yeah, it just is. And then after everything dried, I used the coordinating wafer dyes for the florals. And then I used the coordinating wafer dye for the frame, which cuts out the whole thing, the inner piece and the outer in one dye. And instead of getting rid of that inner piece, I decided to keep it. And I blended on that Pastel Sunrise ink first. And then I was looking at it and I was like, it needs texture. It needs its own texture as well. So I moved everything out of the way. I just took my little distress sprayer, held that, a foot or so above, and you press the nozzle halfway and you get more splotchy, splattery bits of water. Let that sit for a minute, and then picked up that water with a paper towel. So I've got that bit of texture, but I wanted more. So then I grabbed my little ink smushing sleeve. This is just a stamp storage pocket, and I'll have it linked. But I keep this one for doing things like this. And I smushed that same Pastel Sunrise ink onto it, sprayed it with a bit of water, and then I can just keep pressing it onto here. Ink smushing, but with a little more control, so you can kind of see what you're doing. And yeah, this is going to create just a bit more texture. And once I was happy with it, I just dried it with my heat tool. I could have let it air dry, but as usual, I'm impatient. So let that dry. And that'll just be like the inner portion of the frame, which we will get to. We'll get to that in a minute. So I've got the outside and the inside now of this little frame image. My card base is a top folding A2 white note card, so 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And I've got the big floral image, which as you can see, super stained. Like this thing, super stained, and it stamps so well. All that detail, zero effort. So good. So I stamped it onto the inside of the card with that Pastel Sunrise ink, and then wiped it off, and then flipped my card over. So now I'm going to stamp the front of the card with the Faded Jeans Archival ink. And I need to use my archival inks more often. I don't have all the colors in the Distress Archival. I've got a couple of the packs, I think, and then I have, the black and the brown and whatever. But yeah, especially for like anything really detailed, it does work nicely. So stamp that onto the front of the card. And then I also took a scrap of, this is, I think, soft navy. It's a soft navy cardstock that I used. Yes. soft navy cardstock, used my anti-static powder tool on it, and then I stamped the All My Love sentiment, which is part of that Parisian frame set. So I stamped that with clear embossing ink, coated it with detail white embossing powder, melted that with my heat tool. Then I used my microfiber cloth to buff away all that excess anti-static powder because that doesn't look very pretty. And once that was gone, I die cut that with the coordinating wafer die. I also die cut a scrap, or like the remaining piece of that scrap, with that wafer die so that I can layer those together. And my frames, I'm just taping them back together on the back with some washi tape just to hold it in place before I pop this onto my card front. And then I also pulled out another oldie but goodie favorite, the Abundant Leaves wafer dies. And that I die cut several times from, or a couple times, from some Pastel Sunrise cardstock. And then now I'm just going to build my card front. So I had an idea in mind, and then I decided I wanted to stamp a sentiment on the inside before I, finish the outside of the card. So I put my card base back in my MISTI, and I stamped a sentiment from the Beautiful Flowers set with the Faded Jeans Archival ink. And now we're going to build the layers on the front of this card. So I wish I could show what I was inspired by to make this. Because like I had said in the beginning, it's like I always think I'm kind of out of ideas for the set, and then something will pop up and it's like, And something did pop up in my feed. I think it was wallpaper. I'm pretty sure. And then when I went back to it, because I was like, ooh, I should take a screenshot of this, my feed had refreshed. It's long gone. So now it's just a figment of my imagination. But that's what inspired this. It was kind of florally and navy and this sort of sandy peachy color. And I was like, that's really pretty. I'm going to make that into a card. And that's what I did. So I edited some of these leaves, these die cuts, just snipped off bits here and there, glued some of them directly to the card base. And then the frame I popped into place with some Big Mama foam tape. And then I just continued to edit my little die cuts here to kind of fill in some areas and just build it up. So tucked them in here and there, glued the flowers down. I'm arranging the flowers in the same way they appear on the large stamp, because that's another reason why I love this set so much, is these individual flowers are the exact same size as the large cluster. So that way you can like layer and do all the things. So I arranged them in the same way they're stamped on the card front, and then got everything glued down. And then of course I'm going to add some splatter. So I'm using some Positively Perfect Silver Splatter Medium. You absolutely have to stir this stuff up. I was going to say shake. Don't shake these bottles. I don't recommend it because it's so liquidy. I did that when I first started using these, and all the liquid gets into like the threads of the lid and whatnot, and it makes a mess. It makes a mess. Highly recommend just stirring it up really well. The pigment's all settled to the bottom. So I just stir it up, and then I dip my fan brush in it, and I added a nice healthy dose of the silver. And then I used the white as well, because why not? So stirred that up. Same thing. The pigment settles to the bottom. So stirred that up, and then splattered that onto this card front as well to just give it that extra texture, So got that all stirred up, used my fan brush again, splatter that onto there, let that fully dry. Once it was dry, I adhered my sentiment, which is a little bit of the Big Mama foam tape and some liquid glue. And then my final little bit of embellishment is some Peachy Positively Dazzling gems. And added a few extras of those because they were shiny. Let's be honest. If it's shiny and sparkly, I'm here for it. So put on a few and then decided it's like more is more. Why not? So tucked a few more onto the card front. And then once I was happy with it, I'll just pick these up with my little embellishment wand and adhere them into place with little dabs of liquid glue. Just like so. So make sure I get them all adhered into place. And once I've done that, I just have to let the glue dry, and this card is complete. So I'm not 100% certain what number I'm at now for this set. I'll know, you'll see in the title how many takes I've done of this set. I know we're over 3 dozen at this point. So we'll see. We'll see how many more I end up doing. But anywho, that was the finished card. Like I mentioned, links to all the things are in the description box below the video, so you can check that out if you are interested. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping and commenting. It really does help a ton. I very much appreciate it. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!